Hey guys, welcome back to Girls Unplugged. It's finally 2026 and we're back with a new episode.
So much later than planned.
Yeah, very much later than planned. But before we started today's episode, we just want to say a massive thank you for all of the love and support last year. We got our Spotify creator wrapped at the end of December, which you might have seen if you follow us on Instagram. And we were like really pleasantly surprised because we definitely thought no one listened.
I was blown away.
Yeah, we definitely thought no one was listening to us, and that is not the case. So if you're still here, if you've been here last year, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram and TikTok, all at the same username, Girls Unplugged. So make sure to join us to see everything that we post. Today we're going to be talking about book to screen adaptations, aren't we?
Yeah, we've been planning on doing this for a while because like last year it felt like every week there was a new announcement. This was getting done, this was getting done, this was getting done. So actually now we're like, right, now's the time to talk about everything coming.
Yeah.
So be honest, what is your first thought when you hear that one of your favourite books is getting adapted to the big screen?
Like a mixture of excitement and stress.
100%. I totally get it.
It also depends on who the production team is, what the company is, if it's going direct to streaming on Netflix. I don't have big hopes. But
this is your thoughts, not mine. I'm
like,
who are they going to cast?
Yeah. I get really scared. I'm not going to lie. Some books that I've loved in the past have been amazing, perfect adaptations. Some not so much.
Yeah.
And one of them we'll actually be talking about today.
Okay, so before we talk about specific book to screen adaptations, what's coming this year, what's coming beyond that, why or do we think that BookTok is having a massive influence on what is being moved from not just BookTok, Bookstagram, like the whole bookish community? Do we think that's having an impact on what's being picked up for films or screen?
I personally think yes and no. So I always think that books have always been adapted to screen forever. Like when we were teenagers, we had Twilight, Divergent, Hunger Games, like all of those massive books are always picked up to go to screen, especially if they have some element of action to them, because obviously that translates really well.
Yeah.
But I do think what the bookish community has influenced is the rise of romance.
Yeah.
Because there was a huge dip between maybe like the mid-2000s and very, very recently where we weren't really getting any good rom-coms.
Yeah.
We don't really get many romance TV shows especially, and now we're starting to get some with like Heated Rivalry and other things like that. So that's personally, I think, my take on it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. And I do also feel that there was a bit of a dip with like fantasy stuff. I remember after I like finished Vampire Diaries and the originals and everything, I was like, there's really isn't much newness in this like romantic fantasy kind of genre happening on TV right now. And I would say that with the amount we're seeing coming out of like this year, I mean, it's wild. Literally last year, it felt like every week there was a new announcement of something else being picked up, and you know, someone else's books are going to be on the big screen next year, and it felt a bit like, God, when is this going to stop? Like how is it going to feel watching all of these next year? So I do think it obviously has an influence.
Yeah.
Whether or not when those things release, that's a good or bad influence, like we shall see.
Yeah. I'm excited to see quite a lot of them. I definitely agree with you that we don't get much fantasy. We never have done, like...
Not enough.
Things that are a massive fantasy production, like Lord of the Rings, we barely ever get. And
I guess because it takes so much time and money to film things like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Rings of Power, the TV show that came out, what was it, like 2 years ago from Lord of the Rings, that's the most expensive TV show ever produced.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually still need to watch season 2 of that. We're going way off topic already, but I do actually need to watch that because I really enjoyed season 1.
So me and Whitney got stuck with season 1 about halfway through. Whitney's my sister, by the way, guys. We didn't love it. However, Molly, our friend, said that it got better. And I'm pretty sure she's watched season 2 and enjoyed it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back to it. So obviously when you have book to screen adaptations, a lot of readers are the ones that are first there in line to see it.
Yeah.
Do you think readers are harder to impress than normal watchers?
100%. I would say the casting drama around Off Campus last year 100% proved that. And just like with everything, the amount of arguments, not so much now, and I don't know if that's just like the side of TikTok that I'm on, but you know, you always used to see it on TikTok, people arguing over like their fan cast for Akhtar and Tog and Magnolia Parks, and just because like people see things visually in their head, and you're never going to make everyone happy. It's impossible.
Yeah, I completely agree. But also, I think even aside from the visuals and like the cast, when you read books, you start to get really strong understanding of like what a good narrative arc looks like what the story beats are, what makes a good plot. So then like if they miss out key parts in a film that you feel provide a lot of context or emotional
100%.
depth, that's also disappointing.
Yeah.
And I know that people said that about one thing we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
And yeah, I 100% think it's harder to please. I know I'm harder to please when I watch a film that I've already read as a book, or even just if I know it's a book, like with the upcoming Wuthering Heights, for instance.
Yeah.
Like that's the one we're going to talk about as well. But when you know it has such strong source material, your expectations are higher.
I agree. And not that we support the author of these books in any way, but I do remember watching, especially the final Harry Potter film, and some of the things left out that just like created so much emotional like depth to the story that were then left out in the film. I was like, why on earth would they change that?
Yeah.
Like it just it baffled me.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot. There are obviously some instances we've spoken about before where actually the film ends up becoming better because the books weren't that great, like Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Do you actually have a book to screen that you've watched that you think's better than the book other than Vampire Diaries?
Oh my god, you're really putting me on the spot there. I'm trying to think. I know that they're I'm trying to think because I feel like we spoke about this before, and I was like, I actually prefer this. Can't remember.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, although Normal People is one of my favourite books ever, I actually think the screen adaptation is so perfect.
Really?
Yeah, so perfect. Like, and I think that's bold words, right? When the book is so up there for you.
It's literally like one of your favourite books in the world.
Yeah. So I was really pleased with that one.
I definitely think there probably have been, but there are plenty of films that I've never read the book of. Like Practical Magic is one of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah.
Like timeless for me. It doesn't need to be spooky season for me to watch it, but I've never read the book, so actually I don't know the comparison. And sometimes I will never read the book. So
yeah, that's like I Am Legend. I never knew when I watched I Am Legend, like back in whatever year it came out, that was based on a book. I love that film. I think it's a really good like horror apocalypse film.
Yeah,
with Will Smith, and obviously in the film it's zombies, but apparently in the book it's vampires.
Oh,
which is completely different.
Well, it did come out in that whole like kind of era of zombie movies, though, didn't it? So it makes sense that they just kind of like changed it to go with that.
Yeah, but yeah, there's so many things where I'm like, oh, I should read the book now.
Yeah,
but you never get around to it, or do you?
No, because then you feel like you know the story, and you're like,
yeah.
So let's move on to the things that are coming this year that we're already a little bit emotionally invested in, and whether or not that's because we're excited, scared, or just curious to see how it's going to go.
Yeah.
We're not going to go through everything, but we will provide a list like in the notes of the episode. Yeah. Maybe we'll post it over on Instagram, like a full list of everything that we know that's coming.
Mm-hmm. So obviously this is already out. It technically came out in the US at the end of last year, but it came out here in January. I'm talking about this because I've seen it, but Tor hasn't, and I need you guys to help me persuade her to watch it, and that's Heated Rivalry. Obviously it's based on books. Personally, I actually haven't read the books, and I also haven't read any romance books. I don't know if you have.
Not where it hasn't built into a story, like not where it's like specifically romance, but it has built in, obvious ones. But
yeah, that's the same as me. I haven't specifically read like they're the main couple, it's a specific romance, but so I haven't read these books. Apparently, the books are not great.
Okay.
Apparently, they're written like quite fanfic vibes.
Okay.
Don't know how true that is. That's just what I'm seeing floating around on Goodreads. Take that with a pinch of salt. But the show, I've rewatched it already, and I've made Whitney, my sister, watch it. She loved it too. She doesn't even like romance, and guys, it's sports romance, which Tor loves. It's ice hockey, you know. But anyway, this is, I think, the perfect example of where I've watched a show but haven't read the source material, and then it blew me away. Would I have felt the same if I'd read the books? Who knows?
Yeah.
Because I would have had different expectations of maybe what they look like, what the bits that were cut from the stories we mentioned before. But as it stands, I think that is the most amazing TV show I've watched in a long time. Everything about it, from the cast, the acting, the romance, the score, the soundtrack, the way it was shot, even though it's on a really small budget, apparently.
I feel like she feels really passionately about this.
6-star watch, guys. 6-star.
Really?
And
so
you know
I'm
a
about to blow
hater.
you away because I started watching it and I turned it off about halfway through the first episode.
You've
So
gotta
I was like, I'm bored.
You've got to get through the first episode because Whitney was the same. And then I was like, you know, you need to it's a slow burn.
There's too much other stuff going on for me to watch at the moment, and I'm not a big, like, considering we're talking about TV and film, I'm not a big TV film person. I have like specific shows that I do watch.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't watch a lot of it. So maybe I'll just save it for a time where there's a lull in things that I don't have to watch.
Yeah. It is only 6 episodes as well.
Okay.
But it is a slow burn, so you have to like invest.
Yeah.
But I will eat my socks. Actually, I shouldn't say that because we've been through
We've
this
been
before.
through this. There's always something.
Yeah. But I will eat my socks if you don't like it.
Okay, fine. So the other one that we're going to talk about that's recently just released, which again you've seen, I haven't seen it yet, is People We Meet on Vacation.
Yeah.
The new M. Hen film. Was your least favourite M. Hen book? No, and she's a big Emily Henry lover.
I am. She's one of my faves.
So I haven't read the book and haven't watched the film. I'm not being very useful to this episode so far. But I do really like the look of the film. So I am going to watch it soon.
I think, again, Tor will really like this.
Because it's cheesy.
It is a bit cheesy, yeah. Knowing the types of romance films that Tor likes, I think this plays into it. But we have very different taste in that regard. So I didn't like it. I gave it 3 stars, but honestly...
The book or the show?
The show. The film. The film on Netflix. The book I gave 4 stars, but the more I think about it, the less... If I read it now, it would have been less than that.
Yeah.
It's by far my least favourite of hers. I'm not a big friends to lovers person anyway.
No,
That's
me
not one of
neither.
my favourite tropes at all. So, you know, it was never going to be like up there with Beach Read and Happy Place, which do have my favourite tropes in. But my biggest issue with that adaptation to screen was actually the actress who plays the main character.
Oh.
Because I just didn't like her. And I don't... She's in... I know, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm being... not very nice here, but she is in, what's it called, My Lady Jane or something, you know, that fantasy one on Prime. All the girls in our group chat loved it. I didn't like it because I didn't like her in that either.
Oh, okay, fine.
So
it was so sad that they didn't do a second season of that.
Can't say I was sad, but I just felt like she turned the main character of People We Meet on Vacation into like a caricature almost.
Okay.
It didn't feel believable to what we had read. And personally, I think what is so special about Emily Henry books is they're not cheesy. They have this like almost element of melancholy to them. Especially like Happy Place and Beach Read, they kind of had this sad undertone.
Yeah. So did Book Lovers. It was the first romance book I had literally read as an adult.
Yeah, me too.
And I was just like, this is just so great. It didn't, because I am a cheesy romance type of girl, but I did love Book Lovers because it did have, you know, more of like a serious undertone to parts of it.
Her books have a lot of depth.
Yeah.
You know, they look at like family relationships as well as the romance. And I felt that's what the film adaptation lost.
Oh,
it was just pure romance, really happy-go-lucky.
Which I don't mind in a film.
She was, so that's why I think you'll like it. Yeah. It was kind of, to me, Anyone But You vibes. Is that what it's called? The Sydney Sweeney one?
So my favourite romance
film
ever.
I think Tor will like it. Me, I just thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed.
Fair. So.
One you have seen.
What? Well.
Not the new season.
Well, Bridgerton. I started episode 1 last night.
Yeah.
And I'm about to blow you all away.
You didn't like it?
I turned it off with 20 minutes left to go on the first episode because I was like, I'm bored.
Maybe this is a mood you're in then. If you're finding this with... Maybe you're not in a romance mood.
There's probably a reason for it and we're going to talk about that show next. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was fine, but I just wasn't like... With Colin and Penelope's season... I was just like so invested already. Like
Really?
instantly
did not
so
have
invested. I think it's probably partly to do with the fact that I love the actress. I love Nicola Loughlin. Is that how you pronounce her last name? I fucking adore her.
Yeah, I really like her.
So, and I just liked their whole, again, I mean, I'm not actually a friends to lovers person, but it was this whole kind of like longing, the yearning. It was just, I don't know, there was something about it that I really loved. But yeah, with this season so far, and I have given it less than one episode, not saying I don't like it and I'm not going to watch it, but I was tired, and instead of being like, I need to finish this episode first, I was like, I'm just going to turn it off and read my book.
Yeah.
So, have you started it yet?
Not yet. I'm going to start it tomorrow.
Okay.
I've got a book to edit for a client, guys. I need to be sensible before I start binging that. I'm so excited because Benedict is like a character throughout the previous seasons that's really intrigued me. I will say, again, me and Tor kind of have opposing favourites and preferences in this show. Queen Charlotte, the spin-off, is my favourite.
Yeah.
Then season 1. Season 2, I did like a lot more on rewatch.
Season 2 is and never will be beaten in my eyes. Like Anthony and Kate. I just love them.
That's how I feel about George and Charlotte. Oh, they're so cute. Penelope and Colin I didn't enjoy, and I still didn't enjoy it, and just finished the rewatch, didn't enjoy it. So I'm intrigued to see what I'll think. Have you read any of the Bridgerton books?
I have, but I'm not going to carry on the series.
Didn't love?
I enjoyed them when I was reading them, but I felt like I was reading them because of the show, and I was like, actually, like, I don't love them to read them. So yeah, I'm just not going to carry on because there were loads of things that I actually really do want to read, and I felt like I was in a phase in life where I was reading them because I felt like I had to because of BookTok, when actually I don't fucking have to. I really like the show, and that's enough for me.
Yeah, I haven't read the main Bridgerton series, but I read the Queen Charlotte book. But obviously that was a bit different because it came out after the show.
Yeah.
They wrote it like from the show.
Yeah.
And there wasn't much difference between the show and the book. I did really love it. I think I gave it 5 stars.
Oh, okay.
I did it on
probably
audio.
because you loved it. Yeah.
It was just like comforting, I think.
Yeah.
But I have no interest in reading the books, weirdly. I don't know why, because I love the show.
But why? So this was what I was going to ask. Why do we think? Because Bridgerton is literally like a worldwide phenomenon, and I think it's not even just like women that love it.
Yeah.
Because actually, when Kyle, he won't specifically be like, wait for me to watch that, but when he sits down and watches it, he really enjoys it. And the first season that did ever come out, he was like, don't watch an episode without me. It was obviously during COVID.
Yeah.
And what do we think it is about Bridgerton that makes it work so well for a book to screen?
I think this is where the magic of Shonda Rhimes comes in.
Oh,
the
she's
creator.
so talented.
I mean, we've got obviously Bridgerton, Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
Like, she is phenomenal.
She's a powerhouse.
TV. Yeah. Bridgerton itself, I think, is such a perfect blend of like using all of your senses when you watch it. You know, we have all these pop songs turned into orchestral pieces.
I think that's one of my favourite things about the TV show.
Me too. The costumes.
Yeah.
The settings.
Yeah.
Like, and then the actual plot itself is part mystery. Like, you do have a mystery underpinning the romance, because until season 3 you don't know who Miss Lady Featherington or whatever, not, who is it?
Lady Whistledown.
That's it. You don't know who that is. There is bits of plot that are separate to the romance as well, like different friendships and things going on in the background. So there is something for everyone, I think. I think that's what it is. It's like it hits all of the points.
Yeah. There is something about the music specifically. Like, I'm not a big music person. Like, Bronte's like, she's into film, she's into music, she's into, you know, reading. She's very, like, artsy-fartsy. I'm not. I'm just like, if I like it, I like it. Like, with Vampire Diaries, I think the person that did the music for Vampire Diaries, like, the perfect songs are always chosen. But, like, same with Bridgerton. Like, there are certain things about the music that just stay with me. Like, I have the instrumental Pitbull Give Me Everything on my phone because it was just placed so perfectly with that moment between Penelope and Colin.
Yeah.
And it was just done so well. I was like, this is so fucking good. Even though there's no songs to sing along with, I'm like, I love it.
And do you know what song's being included in season 4?
Hayley Williams.
Paramore.
Yeah.
All I Wanted.
Yeah.
Guys, that is in my top 5 songs ever. I am so excited for that.
I literally just saw that on Gem's Instagram story this morning. Was it? I'm sure it was Gem's Instagram. So I was like, oh, okay, nice. Love that.
So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I agree. It's just like so beautiful. And that specific scene in season 1, right, where Daphne and the Duke dance in the rain starts pouring. It's very Pride and Prejudice. And they have that 4 Seasons song that comes on in the background. And it's like, oh, it's so cute.
It just makes it perfect. Yeah. It is very well placed music. Very good choices. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on to a show that I have been screaming at Bronte to watch for the last couple of weeks because I literally just binged it all the way up until what's airing right now, and that is Tell Me Lies.
I am seeing everyone talking about this.
It is fucking wild. Like, I've never watched a TV show like it. It is fucking crazy, but I didn't know it was based on books. So again, this is like I've got no comparison for what the books are like. But let me tell you, it is a TV show that everyone should watch.
So what is it? Is it romance? Is it drama?
So without going too deep into it, there is romance and there is drama. It's setting and it's a mystery, kind of mystery because it basically starts with these people that are in their 20s, they're at a wedding, and then it's flashing back to them in college. But there's something going on in the present that you're like, what the hell's going on here? But I think as women, the thing that you relate to, everyone that I know that has watched it, is that the relationships are so toxic. It is the most toxic thing I've ever watched. You can't look away, but everybody has a Stephen. Like, everybody has one of those people. They look back on that relationship from, like, their younger years where they're like, oh, my God, like, I relate so heavily to this right now. It's so fucked up, but you just cannot look away. And everyone wants a Wrigley.
A Wrigley?
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah. I feel like I'm giving parts away for people that are going to go back and watch season 1. But, yeah, it just... Oh, it's so good. You have to watch it.
Okay, I am going to watch it, guys. I'll report back on this. I feel like I want to read the books as well.
I mean, I'm not fussed about it. Again, it's like, because I'm like so obsessed with the show. I'm like, are the books ever going to live up to it? And from what I've heard, people that have read the books and are now watching, I think season 3 is starting to very much deviate away from the books.
Okay.
So I'll be intrigued to see what happens.
Yeah.
But why do we think that toxic relationships are like viewers get so hooked on the toxic ones more than like the
everyone? What's that Gogglebox quote? Everyone loves a bad boy, Chris.
It's so true.
I know, but on a serious level, I think there is something really exciting about like danger and things you know are wrong for you. Yeah. Your body sort of gets addicted to the adrenaline, doesn't it? Like,
and the drama. I think that's the thing. Like when I think about my most toxic relationship, and I was talking to Amy about this because she's been begging me to watch this show for a couple of years now. And we were sat talking about it. I was like, you do. Like, that is literally, you watch it and you're like, why are you doing this? But then you think back to your young self, and I think, I was so addicted to the drama in my most toxic relationship. I wasn't actually madly in love with him. I was just hooked on the constant spikes of all, like, my happy, sad hormones.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I probably shouldn't watch this at the moment if it's talking about past relationships. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Right, what else we got on the list?
Off campus.
Oh, and if you've been here a while, you'll have seen us talk about the off-campus casting drama.
Yeah, which was just, no, we can't even go into that because the way we're talking about it was wild.
Yeah, we're just going around.
I'm so excited for this show.
I'm beyond excited, especially after watching Heated Rivalry, because again, ice hockey.
Yeah.
So very excited about that. I personally don't mind the cast as well because at the end of the day, they're college age anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'm never going to be like, wow, you're so fit, because they're just going to feel so much younger than us.
Yeah, and I just think as well, I think I said this before, it all comes down to like their personalities and how well they can act as to how much you fall in love with the characters. So,
and the guy that's playing Garrett, is in a film called Along for the Ride on Netflix, which is an adaptation of a Sarah Dessin book that I loved as a teenager. And he was great. He was great in it.
Yeah.
So I have full faith that he'll be able to deliver, Garrett.
I have faith in it as well. I feel like most of the like Amazon or Prime obviously don't do as much as Netflix, but I feel like the ones that I have watched, they've done them really well. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited too, and I agree actually. The Amazon Prime ones I think are actually really good, especially compared to Netflix. If you couldn't tell me, Netflix have got beef.
Oh, wow. Okay, moving swiftly on because we are doing a real Torrance Bronte yapping session right now. Wuthering Heights. I know you're excited, well, semi-excited, not excited for this.
I have thoughts on Emerald Fennell, who is the director, right? Because she'll just like scrap racial context. She'll make it very... She's just something, okay? Anyway, so for instance, with her first film that she did, Promising Young Woman, which is about this woman that tries to protect women who are date raped.
Oh, wow.
The message of the film is the police will just fix everything, even though we know that's not true.
Oh, God.
Then Saltburn came out. Saltburn was like really like classist and not great, although I do actually love the film. And I
Did
think
she do that?
She did.
Oh, okay.
And I think the cinematography is great. And then comes Wuthering Heights, and she released the cast. Margot Robbie's about 10 years older than the role should be. Jacob Elordi, even though I love him, everyone knows how much I love him, is white. Now, in the book, it's not explicitly stated what race Heathcliff is, but there is a serious thread of racial context throughout it. So he's continuously sort of like degraded and made out to be different and othered because of his skin colour.
Okay.
And he comes into the country through the Liverpool ports, which is obviously where a lot of immigration happened in the British imperialism empire sort of time.
I feel like I'm having a history lesson right now.
So the fact that she's cast him, I'm not keen on anyway. And then she's done interviews about it where she's like, yeah, it's just like how I imagined it when I was reading it when I was like 14. And, you know, this is like a really great love story and it's not a romance. Anyone who's read it knows it's not a romance. I mean, granted, I read it 15 years ago, so my memory is not fresh, so take this with a pinch of salt. But it's not a romance, and everything from the costumes that I've seen so far looks like it's just going to be the most outlandish, outrageous thing.
I mean, the trailers I've seen of it are wild. Me and Amy are going to go to the cinema to see it, but yeah, it looks wild.
And I think that's what she just does with all of her films. It's like, what can I do that's the most
How
outrageous?
can I make it eccentric?
Yeah, rather than like, what's the best way I can explore these themes, which works in some ways. Like, I did actually really enjoy Saltburn.
Yes, so did I.
Visually stunning as well, so I'm excited for the visuals of Wuthering Heights, and I do actually love the quirky costumes and stuff. I don't really care about them being historically accurate, but do I think it's going to be like actually Wuthering Heights? No,
not like with Amy with Bridgerton.
Yeah. She does. Our friend Amy does not like the
when Penelope had like really like
fake
lovely
nails.
like almond shaped nails. Amy was like, "What's going on with her nails? That's not historically accurate." I was like, "Whoa!"
And she's got eyelashes on,
and her makeup shimmering.
Yeah, which I don't mind too much with Bridgerton.
I literally don't even notice things like that. It's so far over my head. So one I'm very excited about, and I actually didn't know about until Bronte told me when we were planning out this episode, is the Magic Faraway Tree is getting is made into a film. It's coming out in March.
Yeah, I think so.
End of March. I'm sure I saw it was like the 27th of March or something like that.
Probably lines up whenever the next kids' half term is, because obviously it's one.
Easter holidays. It's going to be actually.
Yeah, one of the best kids' books of all time.
100%.
Loved those books when I was a kid.
I think it's literally what probably got me into reading fantasy as a child.
Mm-hmm, me too. And the fact that it's Enid Blyton, it's just like so timeless. Like, my parents loved it, we read it, and then kids now are going to get to see this film.
Well, Zola listens to the audiobooks literally every night. She actually, the day that Bronte told me about this, I'd just given Zola because she's only just about to turn 6 in a couple of weeks, and so obviously she's not reading the book because it's a little bit above her, but she listens to the audiobooks every night, and she actually took the book into school that morning and gave like a little talk at show and tell about the story and the characters.
Oh my god.
So I was so excited that day I got her. When I got her home, I showed her the trailer and she was like, "Oh, can we go to the cinema together, Mummy?" So I'm so excited to go and see it. And it's got Nicola Loughlin in it, which is so exciting.
And Andrew Garfield, like loads of big cast actually. Rebecca Ferguson, I think, as well as like the baddie in it. It looks so good. Like, I actually want to go see it at my grown age with no kids.
Maybe you should come and see it with me and Zola.
I will.
Okay. So the other thing that we have coming is a couple more co-hosts. And I just feel like all of her films are going to be cast with all this Blake Lively and Jason Baldoni, whatever his name is, drama still ongoing. I just feel like every film that releases is going to be overshadowed by Blake Lively and Jason Baldoni drama.
And just also, like, overshadowed just by how much BookTok don't like her.
It's wild because it's a big divide because some people absolutely love her, but most people are like, oh no, I don't read co-host.
Yeah, and she's not for me, I gotta say. However, what I will say, credit where credit is due, is I did read Reminders of Him back in like 2020, 2021. I bloody loved it.
Oh,
now,
really?
Did I think it was stupid that she called her daughter DM, like Carpe Diem? Yes, I did. Did I think it was cheesy as all hell? Yes, I did. But did it make me cry? Yes. Am I ashamed to admit that? Maybe slightly, but...
It was 5 years ago.
It was 5 years ago.
We can let it go.
The world was a different time. I've watched the trailer for that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not at all how I imagined the cast.
Okay.
So then I sort of felt like the off-campus lot disappointed with the cast. Obviously, I didn't make a TikTok video about it. But yeah, I was like, that's not how I imagined it. But I probably won't go and see it anyway.
I don't think I will. Like, at some point, if it's on Sky or if it's on Netflix or something, I probably would if I had nothing else to watch. But it's certainly not a film I am rushing to the cinema to go and see. However, I do think when Verity comes out, I will go and watch it at the cinema because I quite like the casting.
Yeah. I
really like Anne Hathaway.
I love Anne Hathaway.
And I actually also quite like Dakota Johnson. I know a lot of people don't, but I actually quite like her. So I think that the casting was done really well. They actually look very similar to how I imagined them in my mind. And Verity is the only coho I've ever read and really enjoyed. Kind of like that other one we read, Heartbones. But it was so early in my like romance reading era that I'm like, if I read it now, I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah.
But I am excited for Verity.
I'm excited for Verity. That is her other book that I enjoyed. I actually think she should write more thrillers in that genre because I think she was really good at it. The books I didn't like were Ugly Love. I DNF'd that one. And that's when I stopped reading it. But Verity, I agree. I'm really excited for that. I personally don't love Dakota Johnson. I don't think she's great. But I feel like that will be a role she'll be okay in because it's not like the main kind of creepy role in it is Verity herself, right? So I'm excited for it. I will probably go and see that one, even though I don't love Colleen Hoover. So that's what's coming out this year, but there's a lot more that are coming out beyond 2026 that we just don't have a date yet for. There's so many that we're excited for. Personally, what I'm excited for is the rest of the Emily Henry adaptations. Tor hasn't read all the books, but I have, and I'm particularly excited for Beach Read.
Which I have read.
Yeah, and you did enjoy that one, right?
I did enjoy that one, yeah.
Happy Place, I'm a little bit nervous for because I found out that Jennifer Lopez is producing it. Questionable after she did that weird musical film about herself last year.
Did she?
Yeah. Did you not see all the viral videos where she was like describing herself as like a crazy kid in Brooklyn, even though she was like from a private school? Anyway, that's a whole different story. But I'm a bit nervous about that. I can't lie. So I'm just hoping they're a bit better than people we meet on vacation.
And are we getting all of the M-Hens next year? Or we don't know?
We don't know.
Because we know we're actually getting all of them so far, aren't we? They've all been picked up, apart from the most recent one.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if we know the dates.
Interesting.
Yeah, because we don't actually have official cast, I don't think, for any of them either.
Okay. Oh, no, I'm thinking about something different.
Okay.
But we touched on this earlier. We're getting a lot of romance coming. Some huge ones as well, which BookTok are going to be so invested in.
Yeah. We've
got 2 of Elsie Silver's series. We've got Rose Hill and Chestnut Springs coming.
Yeah.
Which I think, again, people are just going to be so hard to please. So I'm really excited for them because I'm not going to get worked up over castings. I'm just not. I would still give them a chance, see how I feel about them after I watch them. We've also got Rebel Blue Ranch coming.
That one I'm excited for.
And you never know, you might like the TV, depending on who does the TV series and how they do it from the books, because you don't like her writing. So it could be that you actually end up don't minding the series. You don't know.
We'll
you
see.
don't know.
I'll give it an open mind.
Because in terms of like themes of the book of like Chestnut Springs and Rebel Blue Ranch, they're so similar.
Yeah.
Like obviously the writing's completely different. It's not like they've copycatted each other. But in terms of like overall vibes, romance, kind of westerny, they're very similar.
They
so
are.
actually, you don't know what it's gonna. You're gonna have to give it a chance if it comes out on TV.
Fine, I will give it a chance, guys.
On top of that, we also have the Twisted series by Anna Huang.
Yeah, guys, I've never read them.
Never read them. I've read them, enjoyed them. Not the best in the whole wide world, but I do really enjoy reading Anna Huang when I'm just like I need to just like mindlessly read some romance
A
and
palate
something.
cleanser.
Yeah, 100%. So but those are beloved on BookTok as well. So that's going to be, and I think that's also been being done by Prime. So that will be interesting. And also we have. That was what I was thinking about earlier when I was thinking of M. Hen. It Happened One Summer. Tessa Bailey is releasing. Nina Dobrev's been cast in it. The only thing she ever did well.
Ones I don't like, guys. Other than Rebel Blue Ranch.
So we're definitely heading into a bit of a romance era with television, like this year, next year.
Which I'm excited for because even though it sounds like I hate it, I actually do love romance more than anything. I just hope that they give us like 2000s and 90s rom-com vibes where it's not so cheesy. Like I love things like The Holiday or Devil Wears Prada or Clueless. I mean, we're getting Devil Wears Prada 2 this year as well, actually. That's a book-to-screen adaptation. I'm very excited for that one. But yeah, I like things where they're not quite so cheesy. So I just hope that some of them are not too over the top.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, they are going to be over the top, but...
Yeah.
I don't mind because stuff like that, for me, is always... You watch to watch... Whereas I'm normally watch to kind of relax and have a bit of background noise.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not analysing what I'm watching.
I mean, even when I try not to, I am.
Yeah, exactly. But my brain doesn't work like that with TV and film. So
count yourself lucky. It's actually a curse, guys. It's like, even last night when I went to see Marty Supreme in cinema, my brain the whole way through was like, this is wrong.
That's what Ellie's like.
Really?
Yeah.
It must be a Leo thing.
She judges everything.
Must be a Leo thing.
Or you're both just weird.
Another thing we do have coming out, I'm not sure if it's this year or next year, is Family of Liars, which is a sequel to We Were Liars by, I think the author's name is E.L. Lockhart.
Oh, yeah.
This was a Prime adaptation. Now, when the book came out, it was a bit of a Marmite book. People either loved it or they hated it. It's a YA sort of mystery with a bit of a romance subplot. I loved it, and I read it in 2019, so I was not a young adult. But the show was also really, really good, the Prime adaptation.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
And do you know who produced it? Julie Plec.
No way!
Yeah, so I've been waiting to tell Tor this because she's obviously...
Huge Julie Plec fan. I like everything that she's done, to be fair. Well, everything I know that she's done.
If you don't know, it's Vampire Diaries Originals, Vampire Academy, the TV version. So I think Tor should watch this. If you've watched it, comment below if you think Tor should.
Yeah, tell me. Because Julie Plec has also picked up, which we haven't got on the list to talk about today, but the new Stephanie Garber, Secrets of Alchemy. She has been pegged to produce that. And I can't remember if it's going to be a TV series or a film, but yeah, she's doing that.
Interesting. And, you know, in If We Were Liars, who's in it? One of the cast members.
Oh, it's got Caroline.
Yeah.
It's got Candice Ackerler.
Yeah.
King. No. She's
yeah.
just... Is she got remarried?
She's King, I think, yeah.
No, she's not. They're divorced. And she's now with one of the guys that was in the originals, one of the wolves.
Anyway, Candice, whatever her name is, who plays Caroline in Vampire Diaries, is in We Were Liars, and she's going to be in the sequel, Family of Liars.
Okay, interesting.
And she's really good in it, I think.
I will watch that then, actually. I am going to watch that. Yeah. Fine. Moving on to the fantasy heavyweights.
Yeah.
Before we go into specifics,
Yeah.
do we think that fantasy readers are harder to please?
Absolutely. Even when you just said fantasy, my stomach goes a bit because I'm
Yeah.
more nervous about the fantasy adaptations than I am romance or drama or any other genre.
Yeah, me too.
I just think there's so much harder to get right from everything, like the plots, the special effects, the casting. You know, like so much of the casting in fantasy is important because often they're like bigger or taller or they look a certain way, like they look majestic and ethereal, and it's so hard to cast that.
Yeah.
So I think people are definitely harder to please with fantasy, but for good reason.
Yeah, I actually think my biggest thing when people adapt fantasy is how they change the plots.
Yeah.
That is what irks me more than anything. I think that casting is one thing, but changing the actual storyline to something completely different, I think, is then where it's a risky business.
It's a hugely risky business, and quite a lot of the ones that have been optioned for films or TV shows, I'm a bit like, I don't think that's actually going to translate that well to screen, but you know, to each their own. I mean, for instance, like Cruel Prince, the film rights were brought in 2017, and it's just never been made. And I actually think that's a good thing, because I don't think they'd be able to nail Carden with a tail. Do you know what I mean? Like, in a good way. I think it would just look weird.
Yeah.
But when you read about it, you can sort of get your head around a bit.
I kind of would imagine Cruel Prince being made with like Labyrinth vibes.
Yeah.
Like a bit weird and wonderful.
Quirky.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I can see that actually. And I think it would be better if it was like firmly YA.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they would do it like that.
No.
I think that's the reality of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So some of the other like really like big hitters that we got announced last year, maybe even the year before, Fourth Wing.
This one I am excited about, and I'll tell you why. Even though I'm a bit funny on Rebecca Yarros, bit mixed feelings on her, the book I actually had read before I knew about any of the stuff she'd done, and I really loved the book, largely because Violet in it has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is what I have, so it was the first time I'd ever experienced that on-page, like, kinship in that way. But the thing I'm excited about with it being produced is Michael B. Jordan's doing it.
Yeah.
And if you look at the films he's done with Ryan Coogler, so Fruitvale Station, Creed, Creed 2, both the Black Panther films, and now Sinners, he's getting more and more experience in producing these incredible blockbusters.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Creed.
Yeah.
I loved both the Black Panther films.
Yeah.
And I just genuinely love him, and I'm really excited to watch Sinners. I'm hoping to watch it with Kyle this weekend. I'm actually thinking about watching it tonight. I'm feeling like I'm on my period. I want to order a pizza.
Yeah.
It's payday.
Yeah.
Watch Sinners. Like, I'm feeling that tonight because I'm so excited for it. And so many people have watched it, and I told you you'll love it.
I really think Tor will like it, because it's marketed as horror, but it's not scary at all. And it's just very emotional, but it's also like simple and not overly complex at the same time. Beautifully shot. Like, yeah, it was one of my favorite films of well, actually I watched it this year. It was like the first film in January, and it was a 5-star for me. I loved it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
So I am excited for Fourth Wing, but nervous at the same time.
Yeah, because again, it's one that's going to take a huge budget. So are they going to deliver on like the dragons and
the thing is, and this is something that people are saying, like, can they make the dragons like look realistic? And actually, anyone that's watched Game of Thrones, I think, will tell you they can. And that was like 10 years ago.
But is it going to have that HBO budget?
You would think so with someone like Michael B. Jordan doing it.
Yeah, and it is Prime, right? It's going to Prime.
Yes, I think it is. Yeah. So when you think Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
of Power, like, you know,
and Wheel of Time, which is on there. And plus, one good thing I think is Rebecca Yarros is involved in the production team.
Yeah, and the screenwriting, isn't she? So
it's going to be fairly true to the plot.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah.
She's also got another 3 like romance ones coming.
She
like
has.
The Last Letter, Things We Left Unsaid, and In the Likely Event, which I'm actually listening to at the moment, funnily enough. So she's got a few coming. One of the other huge fancy ones that got picked up this year, which we actually didn't talk about when we were planning this episode, but came to me, Quicksilver.
This is the one I'm not excited for.
Why?
I don't think this is going to translate to screen very well.
Okay.
particularly because there's a lot in the middle portion of the book that's just like romance and character building, where the pace dips slightly. I just also think they're not going to get the vibes right. I think they're going to make it really cheesy. I don't know why I think that. I've got no grounds of like evidence to believe that.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine them portraying this kind of, you know, because in Quicksilver as well, the language is quite modern.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make it really cheesy and like almost a bit YA.
I feel like it's not going to end up getting made.
Yeah, I can actually see that as well.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that the books have lost a bit of momentum as well. Like when Brimstone came out, I listened to it, I enjoyed it, but again, it had the same with Quicksilver, this kind of like whole middle chunk where the pacing was just totally off for me. So actually, my thoughts on Quicksilver, in a little bit of disagreement with you here, that I might actually enjoy it, because I think if it can be picked up by the right screenwriters and they can improve the pacing of the plot, it's the type of book that I wouldn't care if they changed it.
Yeah.
Because I actually think that there's a strong plot in there, but the pacing of the whole story is so fucking off.
Yeah.
That I actually think it could be better on film if it was done by the right people.
Do we know if it's going to be a show or a movie?
I can't remember. I think it was a film.
That scares me, because I always feel like fantasy is better translated to series because you've got more room to explore things like.
But
the
I
magic
could see
system.
them squeezing that book into one film.
I mean, it would be an improvement because the middle section was extremely long.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the kind of thing that I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm so excited for it. But it is the kind of thing that I'd be like, I'd happily go to the cinema and watch it with the girls.
Yeah.
Like,
if they improve the pacing and stuff like that, I'll be happy with that element of it for sure. I just think they're going to really cheapen and make it cheesy. Like, I can imagine them doing it a bit like the Mortal Instruments film.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what leads me to believe this, but it's just
a
gut,
feeling.
a gut instinct.
Yeah, okay, fine. I mean, like we said, there is so much more coming. So we will put a list somewhere when we post the episode.
Yeah, we will.
So that everyone can look up what's coming, because there's so many things that are already being casted, already in filming, etc. So we will put a list somewhere. Okay, so forgetting about what Hollywood is actually doing right now, what would we green light right now out of everything you've read? If you could pick anything, what would it be?
It would be Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney.
Fucking course it is. Because it's Sally Rooney.
Because the adaptations of both her books that do exist, Normal People and Conversations with Friends, were like the most perfect screen adaptations. Like, they were very faithful to the book. The cast was just how I imagined them. They broke them down into like mini series with half-an-hour episodes. It was just perfect. So I'd just love to see her other books do the same.
Yeah.
And they might be, I don't know, maybe I'm missing
something
updated info on Beautiful World, Where Are You and Intermezzo, but I would just love to see all of them developed because the first two were so good. And then anything else is like quite difficult because, like we said before, I'm nervous about fantasy adaptations.
Yeah, but say it's like the perfect world. It's like you could choose, not that I'd have any idea what I'm talking about with this, but you could choose the director, the production, the budget's not an issue, like everything.
Okay.
What would you have?
Sword of Kaigan, which Tor hasn't read yet.
Yeah.
It's the most cinematic fantasy book when you're reading it. Like, everything plays like a movie. And it's this Asian-inspired world on top of a mountain with elemental magic. And I can just imagine it being really well done. There's a lot of like Asian historical TV shows that are beautiful to watch, and I think this would be the same, but then it would have that slight fantasy element that would make us fantasy lovers happy. I would love to see that, especially because the main character is a female main character in her 30s and a mum of like 4 kids, which is a bit unusual.
Yeah.
I would love to see that one.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, what about you?
I've got a few that I feel like could translate quite well if, again, like there was no limitations. The first is Zodiac Academy.
Yeah.
I think it could be a really... There's no way it could be movies. It would have to be a TV show.
It would have to be like Vampire Diaries, like in the structure.
Exactly. It would have to be done very specifically, very well, because there's so much the biggest part about that is the relationships. It's not just the plot, and it's not just the romantic relationship. It's the friendships and all the drama of things that go on in between that make that series what it is.
Yeah.
So actually, it could, at its core, be a fantastic TV show.
Yeah.
I'd also love to see the Legendborn series into TV or film. I feel like they could be fantastic, like young adult films.
One. That is a really good one.
I feel like they could just be so fantastic.
Yeah.
And the last one is Playing for Keeps, the Becca Mac hockey romance. I think that again, for a TV show, like the relationships, the things that happen in them, like if they could weave a bit more like plot through like the romance and the relationships, depending on like how they do off campus, I think it would just be such a lovely, comforting, cute romance series.
Those are really good ones from you. Yeah, I agree.
Really thought hard about it.
Yeah, I agree with all of those actually. Maybe Zodiac Academy I'd be a bit nervous about, but
I'd be nervous about all of them, but if you could like make everything perfect,
they would be the best ones.
Yeah, that I have to say this as well actually, because there was talk about this actually happening. I'm sure I heard that it got picked up by BBC, but there was talk about Her
Majesty's Royal Coven.
Her Majesty's Royal Coven.
Yeah, and because Juno Dawson does write for BBC, doesn't she?
So I'm like, what's happening with that? Because I actually think it would be fantastic.
Yeah, she writes for Doctor Who. So I'm surprised.
Does she?
Yeah. She's like a TV writer as well as an author. So they would be great because she's already experienced in screenwriting.
Well, when I first read HMRC, I always said for me, it's like this blend of like fantasy world mixed with like a really gritty BBC drama. Like that's how I always kind of imagine it in my head.
Yeah, I will never forget in the first book, there's one specific scene, and you'll know which bit I mean, with like the cars and the truck near the end. With that played out in my mind like the best action movie scene you've ever seen, because it was just so well done. Yeah, I would actually really love that one as well. Okay, so we talked about the ones that we want to see, but what book would you be absolutely terrified to see adapted to screen?
Pretty much anything Sarah J Maas.
Mine's the same,
but Throne of Glass specifically, like I feel like ACOTAR could be done and it could be done quite well. I would be petrified to see Throne of Glass get butchered.
I feel the opposite. I think Throne of Glass would be easier because of it being less romance and more action, fantasy plot. I almost think they'd be able to do it like Rings of Power in that way. I think ACOTAR would be really difficult, and I don't think any of us would be happy with whoever they cast as the bad boys. For me, it's so funny because these are the authors I try not to talk about anymore, but they are still the books that I love deep down because I've read them before they were problematic. So for me, it would be Red Rising, because these are these big. Well, the first book is like quite dystopian, bit Hunger Games. Then books 2 and 3 and beyond are more like these big space operas. They kind of feel a bit like Star Trek, a bit like Star Wars, but also not at the same time. I just don't know. And I'm pretty sure the film rights have been sold, so I'm pretty sure it is being made. But I just don't think Red Rising, unless it has the biggest budget ever, is going to be as epic and big on screen as it is in my mind. Yeah. Because to me, it's like, when I read those books, it was like when you watch Avatar. Yeah. You know, there's just the scale of it. Yeah. And how beautiful it is and like how much is happening. That's how I kind of feel like those films need to be. So unless James Cameron's free to direct, I don't think I'd be happy.
And then we'll be waiting 20 years for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fair. Okay, so that's everything we've kind of covered. So to wrap up, what are you most excited for?
I think I'm most excited for Rebel Blue Ranch, you know, guys. Purely because, I absolutely loved the books. Dusty Tucker, as Tor knows, is one of my favourite book boyfriends ever. But also because I love a show that's like easy watch. And last year we had Ransom Canyon,
which was really good, actually. I really enjoyed it.
Really good. And I think this could be like that. So I think I'm most excited for Rebel Blue Ranch. I also think it would be the most difficult to like get completely wrong. Yeah. So yeah, that's mine. What about yours?
So I feel like I'm most excited right now for Off Campus because we know it's soon, so I'm really excited to watch that. But like looking ahead, I think definitely Chestnut Springs, although I'm also really nervous for that, and Fourth Wing. I can't wait to just like hear a date or any scrap of news about what's happening with that. That's probably what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I can completely understand that because that's such a big one as well. Guys, don't forget to comment below what you're most excited for because we would love to hear. And also don't forget to comment to persuade Tor to watch If We Were Liars. We Were Liars, If We Were Liars. Can't remember what it's called.
Whatever it's called.
You know the one we mean. But yeah, we'll be back soon with another episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And we will see you in another 2 weeks for another episode. Bye!